Tour junkies.
What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to the 2026 Players Betting Preview. We are pumped. It's one of the biggest tournaments of the year at TPC Sawgrass. It really just starts to feel like it's a big deal now that the PGA Tour is at Sawgrass. It's how you know the season is really off and running. DB here. I got my boy Pat Perry, as always, fresh off his TGL tour. Maybe we'll hear a little bit about that later. And as always, Mr. Matt Every joins us. We're going to get into this action pretty quickly tonight. But first of all, boys, how we doing? Pat, how are you feeling after TGL?
I feel good. TGL was fun. I had a good time.
Some would say you went to the greatest TGL match in history.
Yeah.
Apparently, hole in one to win it. Basically, I mean, it was.
What were you doing when it happened? Did you see it?
I wasn't there. I left early.
He left early.
Wasn't there.
The Tom Kim hole in one.
Wasn't there. Just kind of, like I will say, the whole TGL operation was top notch. Everything, like the tour they gave us of the technology and everything they're doing and all of that. It was a well put on show. I thought it does kind of drag out a little bit in person watching it, and it's probably even. I know it's not even near as good watching it on TV. Like I thought it was pretty cool being there in person, especially how loud it got, and I would have loved to have probably seen the hole in one, but I was ready to go. I'd also been there since 4:00, and that match started at freaking 9:00. So that's getting way past my bedtime when it was 10:30 and I left there. So,
Matt, are you an Irish goodbye kind of guy?
Yeah, I would say I am.
Who's the most Irish goodbye kind of guy that you know? I feel like a lot of tour players are Irish. Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's actually Pat.
Yeah.
Pat is a huge Irish goodbye guy, and the fact that he Irish goodbye TGL is not a shock to me. He just said, "Yeah, Tiger, Kisner, future Korn Ferry Tour star Tom Kim. I'm out. I'm tired of this. You guys don't entertain me enough, and I'm just gonna disappear. Smoke bomb out. I love that. I love it.
Well,
it's perfectly on brand for you."
Yeah, it was just late, but I will say I thought they treated us great. It was an excellent, it was an excellent setup. I liked it. It's pretty cool, that technology that they have too. We got to hit on it the next day. The green was the most interesting to me, was how it would react to chipping around it and putting on it. It was the ball checked up way more for me chipping than it normally does, like any kind of normal Bermuda green. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it looked like fun. We saw your Instagram stories. Congrats. You got to meet Pat Mayo and Feinberg, Idoni, and Keith Stewart down there. Will Gray and the gang on the PGA Tour. Good group of guys there. Looks like you guys had fun. Glad you got to do it. Saw your fist bump with Kiz and your hey to Tiger, which was all of that was really it was tough to watch. It was a little like a car accident, but I had to.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah, it was very foreplay. It was very Barstool foreplay when they first started, and they had never been to a PGA Tour event before, but they were given all the access in the world to meet players in the parking lot. Remember how Riggs would just video himself standing in the parking lot just to get fist bump?
Come on, it wasn't like
Nikolai
they were there,
or whatever.
They were there.
Yeah, did you fist bump them?
No, not really. They weren't very friendly to me.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Maybe they didn't like you getting in on their Tiger fist bumping action or whatever.
I don't know.
Maybe they were
there for Kiss. So anyway, all right, let's move on to.
All right, moving on.
That we hate.
Moving on. We Matt, did you hit a winner last week?
I don't think so. No.
Pat, did you?
No.
Did you?
Also no. Yeah, I did not either. We suck at this. We suck, and sometimes it takes great listeners to just keep us, to just knock us down a peg. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And right before the show, it was brought to my attention. I just got this. I just was passed this note. I just got passed the note from one of our producers that we had a great email come in from a listener And I thought, why don't we just share that? That's amazing. That's awesome. So we can just talk about it together, guys. This is just a real friendly email. So I'll put it up on the screen. It says, "What's up, guys? Just writing to say thank you. We've been fading most of the golfers you guys pick every week and betting the guys you say to fade. Morikawa is looking great. This was on Thursday afternoon, by the way. Thank you for fading that guy. Also, Fitzy looks god awful. Thank you for your trust in him. Laugh out loud. We're up about 4x since we started listening to this atrocity. That's strong words for our show.
It is a strong word.
We've had stronger, but that's
Yeah.
strong. Especially in light of this week's news. Daniel Berger was always the play on tight Bermuda. Real quick, who won this week?
Akshay.
Yeah.
God, I thought it was Berger. Thank you again for being so bad at this. We loving it. And he didn't say this, but I picture this because there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 ha-has in here, so I see this as like a maniacal ha-ha.
Yeah.
And then I love how he ended it. He just said, dumbasses, one word with a period. I really love that he added the period.
Yeah.
That reminds me of like a Pat Perry. That's a Pat dad text. Pat's dad is infamous for just like sending you a text with one word, and then he requires that you just fill in the rest of whatever he's thinking with like 9 other words when he sends you the one text with the period. Maybe it was your dad, Pat.
It could have been, yeah. I mean, he plays. He plays DFS.
He's
so I mean, he could be having a bad year and really pissed off at us. I don't know.
It must be this guy's first time listening to our show. It's got to be.
Yeah. Well,
Matt, what do you want to say? Do you have anything to say?
I just can't. I can't imagine getting that aggressive over something like this. Like,
yeah.
What? I hope whatever's wrong in his life he fixes or gets figured out, because it's not this. It's just crazy that you can get that worked up to come off with that kind of aggression at something like this. Like, none of us are going out of our way to try and piss anybody off. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely not. He doesn't have money troubles because
he's 4X.
We're telling him
he's 4X.
Yeah. He's 4X. He can't have money troubles. It's got to be something else. Usually it's like you're not getting laid or money troubles, one or the other. So maybe he just needs.
Let's move on to TPC.
I hate it for that guy, but hopefully maybe this week we can turn it around. Listen, nobody wants to turn around badder than than me and Matt and Pat. Like, we'd all love to hit a winner this week, wouldn't we?
Yeah, and this is a great week to try to do it. Literally one of the most difficult weeks of the year to try to figure out who's going to win or do well in this golf tournament. But
that is actually very true. So let's look at bet the number. Let's look at the course page. Talk through a little bit about TPC Sawgrass. The season's first major. Some have said, some will say, some are saying. Starting to catch a little steam. We don't subscribe to that here. I don't know about Matt, but we don't subscribe to that here. It's a great tournament, great field, but we refuse to say this is a major. The stadium course, Pete Dye. I can't stand Pete Dye. Me and Pat have played this golf course, and it was an absolute bloodbath. Matt, what's your best score here? And what's your memory? What's your favorite memory about TPC Sawgrass?
I never really played well here. I might have had like a top 25 maybe once. Just too many. My game was never sharp coming into here. Maybe 1 or 2 years, and I didn't play well then. And too many foul balls off the tee to compete here. Favorite memory? It's just cool playing in it, man. I mean, if you're a kid growing up wanting to play on the PGA Tour, you dream about playing in the Players Championship because there's some identity to it. Like the 17th hole, it's the same every year. So just getting my name announced on the tee, like every year, it was super special to play in that tournament. I don't think it's a 5th major. I think it stands on its own. I think hyping it up as a 5th major is just dumb. What are we doing?
How many water balls did you rinse on 17 in your career?
I don't think I ever have. I don't think I've ever hit one in there.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
What about 18? What was scarier?
18
shot on 17 or 18?
Oh, 18, not even close. Especially if you had to hit it where it meant something, like to make the you're on the cut line on the last day, or even if you are in like 20th place on Sunday, that tee shot means a lot, you know?
Yeah. What about the shot on 16? Like, I always thought the approach on 16 was terrifying because, I mean, obviously you can bail out left, but
yeah.
all down the right side. And I've seen balls go long and like roll through that green and off the back.
Yeah, that's not the end of the world though, because then you just drop
Yeah.
right there and
Yeah.
you're putting for 4 if you're going
Yeah.
for it too. I like 16.
Yeah.
Great hole, perfect length. Like everyone can get there. I think it's a good hole. That second shot never really scared me a ton though. I like to fade it. 18 for a fader is tough. I think faders on this golf course in general are at just a little bit of a disadvantage. But that's just me.
Interesting take. Looking here at the last 5 years of the Players Championship, your winner last year, of course, was Rory McIlroy. Scotty won the 2 years prior. Cam Smith before him, RIP, and Justin Thomas in 2021. Rory winning it at 12 under last year. I was looking at the top 5 on the BT Insight here. It seems like 21 through 24 is pretty much like a who's who of studs. But it was kind of weird to look back at last year and just remember that Rory won in a playoff over JJ, and this is before he went on his run. And then following that was Lucas Glover, Akshay, who had not quite lit the world on fire just yet, and then Tom Hoagie, who we know Hoagie's a ball striker, but I mean, just looking at this board, it was like kind of crazy to see the names here. Whereas if you look at other years, it just looks like a who's who of studs and major champions. What do we talk about the randomness at Sawgrass. There's definitely some volatility here, that's for sure. What do you chalk that up to? Like, is it just what Pete Dye does to you visually and like the trouble? Or is it something else? Like what is it about this tournament that just creates so much volatility and chaos?
Probably some of that is the amount of trouble out there. I mean, there's an opportunity for disaster pretty much everywhere on that course. And then it's not about, it's not one of the longer courses on tour. So it brings everyone into play with that right there. I do think, like I was looking at the model a little bit earlier today because I had some time to look at it. And I was kind of doing my own thing on there and trying to weed out like what I thought you have no chance at winning here if you're poor in one category. And I think if you're really poor off the tee, you're done. I think approach play is massive here, obviously, but
yeah.
I think you can kind of weed out some of those guys there in the dark red and maybe even slightly a little less. But I think approach play is big here, big time. I don't know if it's going to be super firm this week.
I was looking at weather. Have you looked at it? It looks pretty dry and not that big of a deal. Like maybe a little rain late on Thursday, maybe a little rain late on Sunday, but it doesn't look like a lot. It looks really nice, honestly, like all week.
It rained a lot. I know they got all kinds of systems out there, but it rained a lot this weekend here.
Like do they have
that Bay Hill that they got? We got too.
Do they have sub air under the fairways there or no?
I think they do. Pretty sure they do.
I feel like I saw that there was some chance for some windy.
I thought Thursday, Friday there was chance for rain.
Yeah. A little bit of wind Thursday, but I mean it's not crazy though. Like I'm looking at it now.
Not. Yeah. I think there was some gust. A few gusts in there.
Yeah. And that's been weather-wise presented by Pat Perry right there.
Yeah. There we go.
You want to get into it?
I mean, overall, like it's just the tee to green, like no holes in the boat tee to green. You don't have to be an elite putter here, right? Would you say like kind of like last week, accuracy just off the tee matters more than anything, and then it's like hit those mid irons well,
yes,
and then scramble when you need to. It tends to be a who's who in terms of winners here. Like it just produces big winners, big names. I feel like outside of JJ Spawn almost last year, right? I mean that's kind of what we say.
I feel like scrambling is not something to necessarily just gloss over. Having played this golf course, but obviously not well. But there are a lot of shots around the greens that you can get creative on and even score. If you like, for instance, hole 9, the par 5. I mean, if you if you go for it and you're going to end up in some sort of weird lie or something, it's hard to hit that green into. But if you if you scramble and get up and down, that's a birdie hole. So I feel like there's definitely some spots around the green where if you're scrambling really good that week, you're gonna save some shots and also maybe pick up a few shots on the field.
Yep. I agree with that. And that's, when you look at the bet the number model, scrambling gets a decent weight. Obviously, a lot of approach. The key approach bucket, that 125 to 200 range. Distance from the edge of the fairway is a factor, and it's a stat we don't see a lot come out of bet the number, but the gurus behind the data and behind the numbers there added that this week. I guess it's like, how do you measure the size of your miss out here? Maybe is what they're trying to go for. There's there's some comp putting courses that they pull from. They give that a little bit of weight, not a ton. I mean, Matt, would you say these greens are like? I mean, they're just so pure, right? They're really not. They're not that grainy at this point, and they're not Florida, Bermuda. It's just pure.
Yeah.
Like it's just gonna do it. Yeah.
Just like they'll be a little greener than last week's.
Yeah, Sunday was looking white out there a little bit. Okay, so top of the board, Mr. Scotty Scheffler, who continues to struggle on his way to a T24 finish, almost threw his arm out at Bay Hill, just tossing balls left and right, getting pissed. That is one thing that always just like kind of jars me about Scotty. Listen, I'm not saying I don't love the fire. I like seeing the competitor come out, and I love that it's just not like constant, I'm the greatest right now, whatever. But it is kind of jarring how he seems to get like disproportionately mad at himself.
Yeah.
Just weird.
No, I agree. Well, when you have those kind of skills, I feel like every time you would get mad at yourself would be disproportionate to win.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I guess that's true. But I mean, 2 weeks in a row, he loses strokes on approach. And Matt Every just said that's the most important stat here. Are we nervous about plus 430 Scotty Scheffler right now in the outright market?
Yeah.
Or will he figure it out? The two-time champ, will he figure it out?
I'm not touching it. Are you guys?
I wouldn't bet it anyway.
No.
But I mean, look at his record here. It's like last 5 years, miscut, T55, win, top 20, and basically irrelevant. He was 8 shots out of the lead last year.
Yeah, I don't like.
So but then right after him, you have Rory, who said today he's staying at home, #Jupe life, for a little bit to work with the physio and try to get this back situation worked out, and may not show up to Ponte Vedra till Wednesday. I'm worried about a possible Rory withdrawal, and then if you don't have your outrights in, the market's going to shrink, and before you know it, Morikawa is going to be 16 to 1 and not 21 to 1. Do you guys think Rory tees it up this week, or what are we doing with that?
I think he tees it up. I'd still be a little nervous based off of just not, the unknown. I'm distracted because, DB, I went all the way back to figure out the last time that Scotty Scheffler lost strokes on approach 2 weeks in a row, and it was 2021.
Wow.
God.
2021, and he's lost strokes the last 2 tournaments.
God.
That's unreal. That is insane. Sorry. Yeah, Rory, I don't know. I'm just not going to play him. I can't. I would need to know more about what this injury is, just to withdraw on a Saturday. And
if he was messed up enough to withdraw, I would say he was in contention. I mean, what was he?
Yeah.
In the top 15 going into Saturday when he bailed. What was he at?
He was doing well. Yeah, I don't
Berger
remember.
Was Berger 13? I think Roy was 4, maybe. I don't know. Either way, where I'm going with this is clearly it was bad enough to where he had to bail that day. I wouldn't be crazy about him. His stats going through Bay Hill till when he withdrew, he was really good off the tee and on the green, but his approach, he was losing like 2 shots on his approach there. Not that he can't fix it, but with the injury, I don't know. I don't see anything attractive about taking him this week.
Yeah, I feel like too. Rory is like the type that he's going to battle through on a round, even if he's got an injury. He's not a type to just withdraw, unless it's something that's really bothering him. So, because I don't feel like I've seen him withdraw too many times in his career.
Yeah.
Other than a fairly significant injury.
Yeah, I don't see him as a chronic.
He's not a Jason Day.
They said it was his second ever withdrawal.
Wow.
In the middle of the
there you go. Okay. I didn't realize it was that little, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is a dumb question, but I guess I'm blessed that I've never experienced this. I don't know what back spasms actually are. Like, what are they actually?
They like lock you up. They like come out of nowhere. I've had them. None recent. Usually when I'm chunkier, I get them.
I would agree with that.
Are we saying maybe Rory's put on a few lbs?
No, Rory tweaked. He tweaked those guys. A lot of those guys, when they warm up, it's a full-on workout when they warm up now.
Yeah.
And Rory's one of those guys, and he just tweaked it doing something in the gym. That's all it was.
Back in your heyday, what was your warm up?
I had this dude named Craig Davies. He's a trainer. He's still out there. We had it was a nice little lineup. It was myself, Graham Dillette, Kevin Chappell, Hunter Mahan, Sung Yul No, legend. And maybe one other guy, but Ches Reavy. And he was awesome. He worked all six of us out, but pre-tournament, a lot of body weight stuff, a lot of movement patterns. Always wanted to break a sweat before I did any kind of stretching. So on the bike till I start perspirating, and then kind of just a movement routine, and then maybe a little bit of weights, but nothing crazy.
Okay, all right, that's good, man. I'm proud of you for that. I was a little better than I thought.
What do you think it was?
I thought you were gonna just be like, I don't know, man. Me and Spencer Levine, we ripped a cigarette and we bent over and touched our toes for a minute, and then we did a little twist like this, a couple of those, and then we went off and ripped it.
There was probably some Sunday rounds like that, out of contention. Jesus Christ, I quit. I quit.
That's a YouTube special only. Okay. All right. So who's the first guy? So we've eliminated the top two. I think it's time to dip our toes in the water and get some outrights before Rory possibly. Doesn't sound like we think he's actually gonna withdraw pre-tournament, but just in case, we could get a little bit longer numbers on some of these guys at the top. We talked about how we think the winner here is usually a top stud guy, usually arrives in form, not really having to find it. Mr. Pat Perry, who's the first name on the board, you're clicking.
I think it's Ludwig for me.
Oh,
28-1.
One tournament and you're back in.
No, I mean, he had a T20 the week before. I mean, I know it's a short field at Genesis, but one tournament, I'm back in. I saw him in person, DB, at TGL. He hit so great into that screen, let me tell you. He did. He hit fantastic.
Well, you saw him compared to Korn Ferry Tour Player of the Year next year, Tom Kemp, so it's not hard to.
Well, the numbers last week were great. I mean, everything off the tee, his ball striking was the best it's been in several months. I mean, since the Open Championship.
You're just a one tournament and you're right back in. That
right
jawline just has you absolutely swooning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Ludwig for me would be the first one I would start with. There's a few.
I mean, the stadium course does seem like it was built for Ludwig, for his overall game demeanor, what he just robotic.
Doesn't he live there, Matt, and play out of?
Plays out Mike Pablo, yeah.
Yeah, so he's around that area a lot. I mean,
I don't know if that's a good thing. I think home games are
at TPC.
I just think home in general. Well, TPC, he ain't playing there during the year because it's a 6-hour round and it's covered. It's drenched. Ball's not. It doesn't play anything like it's playing this week. So you're hitting totally different clubs off of tees. Not really getting anything out of it.
But he's sleeping in his own bed.
I think that's overrated. I think that's almost a disadvantage because these guys are creatures of habit, and that's weird for them, sleeping in their own bed playing in a golf tournament. They're used to sleeping in hotels, man.
Dude, Maybe we need to rent a cabin for our tournaments just so we can play better. Maybe that's our problem is we're sleeping in our own bed.
Maybe.
All right, Matt, who's the first name for you?
Siwoo for me, 24-1. Yeah. Yep.
The Sweet Prince. He's
I wore my
playing well.
shirt.
He's playing well. He's won here before.
Yeah, I don't think.
I'm with you, Matt.
I think this is a really good spot for him. Hasn't won, obviously, has played really well this year. I think he's got 5 top 15s in 7 starts. But maybe we're seeing a more mature Siwoo as he ages and gets into fatherhood, and that goes a long ways for us. I think he could be a real threat this week.
Yeah,
little Theo Kim.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Siwoo looks at Scotty chucking balls in the water and into the crowd and just goes,
No,
tisk.
He's looking at him and giggling his tits off is what he's doing. 100%.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, Siwoo is going to be pretty chalky this week in DFS and whatever format, but at 24-1, I'm willing to take it. A guy who's not afraid, a guy who's won here before as like a 15-year-old. I don't think he could drive himself to this golf tournament when he won. Guy's got stones, and Pete Dye doesn't scare him. He makes Pete Dye his bitch this week again and takes it down at 24-1. I completely agree. I am also interested in 2 other names, I would say, near the top. And, despite our friend's email, he clearly wasn't listening. One of the names that I liked last week, but I said I just didn't know if I could get there because of the number and the other 2 guys near him that I liked, but I liked him, was Colin Morikawa. This week, I think I'm fully in. It's a hate click to bet him because I don't like him personally. But I think I'm fully in on – I know I'm fully in on Morikawa and Siwoo starting the card. 5th place finish at API. I mean, his irons are just literally peak Morikawa right now. Again, Matt Every just said irons are key at TPC Sawgrass. They're key every week, but they are especially key here. And, he's one of the most accurate drivers of the ball in this tournament. I'm very much in on Colin Morikawa. At 20-1 or 21-1 to start it off. What do you guys think about Colin? So neither one of you picked him. You bypassed him for Ludwig and
well,
Siwoo.
he was close for me. He's definitely probably 1B up there. I do like Colin a lot. I feel like the number's okay there at 20.5-1, the weird DK numbers that they keep putting out.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, he's just playing really solid golf, with the win a few weeks ago, then follows that up with T7, 5th last week. I mean, he's got a good history here, which is, with 2 top 15s in his last 3, which is weird. I mean, it's hard to find like some sort of consistency on a course history standpoint here. There's always some trip up. So it doesn't bother me that, there's some bad performances here because it's like that for everybody. Was it the year that we got shut down for COVID or was that a year before when he shot like a great first round here and then it just kind of?
I think you're thinking of Hideki. Hideki was like 6 under.
Yeah, I guess that was Hideki.
COVID year.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got your Asians mixed up, buddy. It's okay.
Shut up.
It's all right, man. All right, I'm going to ask you a question, but so the question is, everybody from Cam Young and shorter. So I show that at like 32-1, all the way up to Scotty, who is not winning the golf tournament. Before you answer, our friends at Bet the Number continue to outdo themselves. The whole hangout, ladies and gentlemen, we have a big announcement. The whole hangout, which I am adding the pre-tournament visual to the screen right now on YouTube if you're watching. But the whole hangout is something they've developed starting a couple weeks ago, and they have notified us that it will be on every single hole of the golf tournament, all 4 days. These boys are putting in the work to take it down in terms of live odds. So every single day, once we get pin positions, you can go to Bet the Number. You can click on any hole you want and see the pin position and get all the data you could ever dream of getting to make a live bet. The groups are up top, so you'll see the groups coming up next. Who's in that group? You can click on that group and get data. You can see implied odds for birdies, par, bogeys, greens, and reg, the average proximity for that whole location once we know it. You can see historic weather setups, wind, yardage. This is an absolutely insane tool that they're putting together. Couldn't be more proud of those guys for putting it together, and they're pumping it out this week. The whole hangout is going to be unbelievable. I was texting with Ryan at Bet the Number, who came on the show a couple weeks ago, and I said, dude, I mean, they continue to clean up in our Discord. They had a huge week again for Bay Hill after kind of a quiet week the week before at Cognizant. I said, give me some data on the year so far. So since Pebble, well over a 62% hit rate on round score bets. Riviera, they were 72% ROI overall on Riviera, and people made a ton of money betting players to hit the green, entire groups to miss the green on hole 6 at Riv. They had a 560% ROI on that bet. Player and hole scores, field hole props, like on number 10 Saturday at Riv, like huge numbers. Arnold Palmer last week, they went 18-9 for a 65% ROI on player round score props. Unreal stuff. The live betting is going to be fantastic. So get involved, bet the number. Also, they added this feature last week, which I'm showing on screen. You can now see the custom model data in the matchup screen once the tournament goes live. So when you're watching live, you can click on your groupings top right. It'll pull the groups, and you can see how they compare through the custom model. So if you're betting a player in that group or against a player in that group, it's even easier now. Click the link in the description for betthenumbergolf.com. Give it a try. You get a 7-week free trial. You might as well get it for free this week at the Players. We're just crushing it in these live betting markets. It's unreal. And the custom models every week are awesome. By the way, I did do my own custom model for the Players, and I changed it quite a bit. I looked at my model last year. It did pretty well. I didn't have JJ Spawn, but it did pretty well. I changed it a little bit. You can also see my model if you want to look at a different public model. All right, who is not winning the golf tournament, boys, up at the top? I'll start with you, Matt. Who's for sure not winning?
I'm going to say Scotty. I don't think he's winning.
Ooh. It's
Big,
bold.
big balls in Cowtown there.
Is it?
All right, go ahead. Yeah, dude, he could find it in a second and gain like 6 strokes on approach and everybody be cooked.
Hell, didn't he get hurt one year and win it? I mean, geez. I mean, he was bad. Speaking of an injury, still won the damn golf tournament. For me, it's Xander. I don't think Xander. He's had some good performances here, but I just don't feel like he quite has it all put together yet. He had some good rounds last week, but to me, up at that range, he's the one I would feel the most confident that is not going to win.
I'll take Cam Young. Like he's at the longest part of this range, but 3 of the 4 years he's played this tournament, he's lost strokes off the tee. If you get to a golf tournament that restricts his ability to just absolutely overpower a golf course, which I think this golf course does, then I think the rest of his game is kind of mid if he can't use that driver as the weapon that he typically can. So I think I'm out on Cam Young. I do have one more name up here I want to talk about. What do you guys think of Russell Henley? 27-1, very accurate, decent finishes here, playing well. Irons are a little sus at the moment, but what do you think of Russell?
I don't hate it. He's not on my list, but I do not hate that pick at all.
No, I mean, I think for me, the top 10 or top 20 feels a little better. I just don't know if I see a victory here, but he does have all the, his game should translate pretty well here. He had, I wouldn't say struggled to start the year, but I mean, he wasn't doing great. I mean, after last year where he was just had a really solid year, but then the T6 last week kind of started to get me thinking about him a little bit more this week.
Yeah, I mean, he finished 8th at the Amex too, so he's got a couple top 10s. I think Henley's interesting. The iron play's a little concerning, but we'll see where I get to before the week gets going. All right, working on the board, Matt. Who's the next guy you're
A
digging?
little worried about him off the tee right now. He finishes like it's a coin flip. He finishes with 2 hands on the club. But Hideki is going to be my next one at 38-1.
The off the tee stuff is weird. It's been bad all
It
year,
has.
hasn't it?
I
But it
mean,
is trending. It is trending.
He, obviously the approach, nice approach play, but Pat, you touched on it a little earlier. I don't think you can discount scrambling here either, and that's just a part of his game. I know that in this community it probably gets talked about, but to the general public, you do not think of Hideki Matsuyama as a world-class scrambler, and he is.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I could get down with that.
Yeah.
Is he? He's not on y'all's.
No, he is. The off the tee thing just worries me though. But it is trending, and he's always kind of figured it out here. He's got a good record here.
Yeah, he does. He does. I don't.
Pat's burned from Waste Management with him.
Yeah, that really sucked. Same for Matt. Matt had him too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't know. I was kind of liking Minwoo Lee, but I feel like Matt, you've sort of taught me out of him just with some of the inconsistency. How in the world does he have a 2nd, a 12th, and a 6th in his last 3, and he's 89th in the BTN model?
I want to look at something on him. I just can't. I can't picture Minwoo Lee doing anything here other than, remember we saw him, Pat, didn't we see? He has picked up on accuracy a little bit.
Yeah.
He's improved.
I saw him also at TGL last week.
I mean, dude, the last 20 rounds, according to Bet the Number, the last 20 rounds, he's hitting basically 64% of his fairways, which is above average on tour, which I'm pretty sure he did not typically do that. Yeah. If I look at the last 100 rounds, so if I zoom out, that's probably what, 2 years, maybe less. The last 100 rounds, he's hitting 56% of his fairways. So he has definitely gotten more accurate and maintained 186 mile an hour average ball speed. That is concerning.
That was the main issue, right, with him back years. That was really the only issue.
Well, that and irons. But
I remember watching him one of the first years he played here, and he had a lot of irons off the tee.
He did.
Driving irons. He didn't always hit driver.
Mm-hmm. But didn't it still feel like he had a big miss here, or like he
just
had a big miss?
No, he did. Whenever he pulled out the driver, it looked like a mistake was about to happen. But
he's played here 3 times. He's finished 20th last year, 54th in 2024, and 6th in 2023. But when he did it in 2023, he lost 7 strokes approach and he gained 7.7 putting.
Which is,
maybe we have a new Minwoo. Maybe we have Min Newly, and he's figured out how to hit it in the short grass. That could be dangerous. I didn't notice that until literally live just now, that he's improved on the accuracy side. I still don't think I'm ready to take him here, but that is something to watch.
Well, in that same area, I mean, I think you could immediately go back to Akshay at 43-1 to win back-to-back. I mean, he's been, you talk about a guy that's great scrambling around the greens. His putter last week was just absolute fire. He's never had a putting round like that before, but he is a good putter in general, I think, regardless of what you think.
Easy to do when you anchor it, but yeah.
Well, I know. That's what I was about to say. Regardless of what you think, he's a good putter.
What do you guys think?
I think he anchors it.
That's what it looks like. I mean, I used to anchor.
I don't think he does it every time, but I think he definitely anchors it sometimes.
It's just hard to it's not really a clear rule. I mean, it is a clear rule, but they seem to allow for some ambiguity there. Like you can't necessarily
ambiguity.
I just made up a word, didn't I? Sweet.
You mean ambiguity?
Ambiguity. Yeah.
I love catching Pat mispronouncing
I
things.
love it.
I was looking at his week last week. I was hoping to see a trend, and there kind of is. Like off the tee, round 1, he was terrible. He lost almost 4 strokes off the tee in round 1. Lost just over 1 in round 2. Basically neutral to the field in round 3, and then gained almost a stroke in round 4.
Mhm.
So literally improved every round in terms of strokes gained off the tee at API. He just had a really bad round 1. Maybe that's 1 or 2 holes. I don't know. But other than that, his strokes gained off the tee has been pretty solid. But that's like the one glaring thing from last week that looked really bad was round 1 or was strokes gained off the tee.
I have Akshay down on my card too.
You did?
Yeah.
Can y'all talk me off of Fitzpatrick for like the 7th week in a row? Can anybody do that?
Thought about it, but I didn't put him down. Definitely crossed my mind.
God dang it, that doesn't help, man.
I mean, I think about, if you look at the off the tee, he's kind of middle of the pack in the model. His putting hasn't really been that great. I mean, he gained strokes last week at the API, but he's lost strokes in like 4 straight.
I mean, he doesn't rank that high, but I don't know what it is. Okay, Matt, talk to us about your boy that squandered it away yesterday. I'm sure you have thoughts on Daniel Berger.
Tough to watch. I wanted him to win that tournament, just because I thought it'd be cool to have his name on that trophy, and I know it'd be the biggest win of his career too. I got nothing, man. It sucked watching him lose. It's a crazy game. He had that thing for 71 holes and just ran out of gas. I don't know. That ending sucked for me.
What about so I mean, Berger has played here 7 times. And I think this is hard to do. He's played here 7 times. How many missed cuts do you think he has?
0.
He has 0 missed cuts here, which that's hard to do.
Yeah, that's very good. You don't see that a whole lot in this field, and I mean on this course and the field too.
And I mean, two T9s and a T13 and a T20 last year. So definitely you would imagine feels pretty comfy around here. Matt, I mean, how do you think he bounces back after that? I mean, he's a veteran. He's won before. I mean, you think he probably bounces back from that pretty easily, or you don't like him because he's a little kind of local, or
he's not local. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Jude Black.
I don't know how he's going to handle that. Like he walks around with his chest out. He kind of let that one go last week. So I don't know. Obviously, his game's in a good spot. Man, he rolled it good last week. That putter swings really good in his hands. They showed a ton of like low angle shots with him from 8 to 10 feet, and that thing was just tracking every single time. I kind of guessed when I said 0 missed cuts when you said that, but you're intriguing me now saying that. I heard what he said after the round. It sounds like sports psych talk to me, what he said. I mean, there's no telling what he was really feeling inside. But I think that's a tough one to bounce back from, man. I mean, that's a big tournament. It's a signature event.
Yeah.
Like that is a massive, you're getting your name on a trophy with Tiger's name all over it. Like that's a massive event. And
Matt Every's name.
Well, whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a big, it's a big loss. I don't know. And it's been a while since he's been in that spot. Like it has.
And we've been kind of expecting it, or ever since last year when he really started playing better, it's felt like the win was coming, and he's probably thought the same way. All of us that talk about this every week, he's probably thought, look, the win is coming, and then he almost had one, and it went away. So I think that could affect him a little bit this week, but I do still like him. I think he's definitely got everything working to have another good week back to back.
Yeah.
Let's keep it moving.
Go ahead, man.
We're deep in this thing right now. We're not even
we're
not even to the bombs yet.
I know, but
I
that's
don't have
what I'm
I don't
saying.
have a ton of bombs because
I don't either.
I just feel like it's the players, and you got to be a dog, and you got to come in this thing ready to go. And the last name that I actually feel like really confident about
Okay.
that I like a lot is Sep Straka.
Okay.
Just to see what Sep's done coming out early. He's like right back to vintage Sep. Had the baby in the off season, first tournament AMX, just knocking the rust off, missed the cut. I don't care. And now he's popping off, and he's usually a fairly accurate player off the tee, but the irons is where he makes his money, and the irons have looked pretty nice. So he's got good finishes here at 55-1. A guy who's won a bunch on tour. He's contended in majors. I don't mind Sep at all. That's the last one that I really, really like.
Okay.
There's a couple others that I'm like, I could do it, but the rest of them are probably top 20s for me.
I have Sep on my card too. I also have Adam Scott at 59-1.
There you go.
That was the next
That
one.
was going to be the next one for me too.
All right, so there's consensus on Adam Scott.
Yeah.
He's got some time.
He's
I know I said this isn't like I think home games are a disadvantage. Adam does not live here, but he spends time here quite a bit when he's not. Like if he doesn't want to go back to Switzerland, he'll hang in jacks for a couple weeks in practice. So he's familiar with the area. And man, he's playing some good golf right now.
He really
is. He's 20th in DB's model.
He's the same in the BTN model. So
oh, he is? Okay.
Lining up.
Did you see that stretch he had? It was on Saturday on I think it was 13 to 16 maybe with his putter. It was like scary bad. He hit one on 15 to like 3 feet and 3 putted, and none of them hit the hole. Like the first two did not touch the hole from 3 feet. He could have had a really nice tournament if that little stretch was just cleaned up right there.
That would have been on Friday when he lost 2.5 strokes putting. I just looked at it on Bet the Number. He gained strokes everywhere else, or all other rounds other than round
and it was
two.
Friday.
Must have been Friday. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's playing nice. I did have him checked as a possible outright if I can fit him on the card, with Morikawa and Siwoo up there. But definitely like a big number. I'm almost 2-1, top 20. Feels really good. Everybody else below here. Pat, do you have anybody else on the outright side that you're interested in?
No, I mean, I think really the furthest I went down was Adam Scott. I mean, I just don't see anybody else that's a longer shot that's going to win.
We did almost have JJ Spawn last year.
I know.
Matt, you got more bombs, don't you?
I got one more guy, Corey Connors at 96-1.
Woo!
Isn't that heavy for him?
Well, yeah, but he's been playing terrible.
Yeah, but he plays awesome here.
Yeah, but
it is a great course
playing
fit.
terrible.
I don't know. I'll take a flyer.
But he hasn't looked like dude, listen, I am a massive Corey Connors sucker. I've lost tons of money betting on Corey Connors over the years. But
I haven't. Let me lose some this week.
Yeah, well, he's not looking like vintage Corey Connors at all. I mean, like normally vintage Corey Connors is like dark green off the tee and approach. And you're like, oh my God, how does this guy finish outside the top 6 every week? And then it's just like he's like deep red putting and chipping, but like right now he's not even hitting his irons well. Like he concerns me.
Right.
I think something's going on with Corey. Let me try to help you.
Yeah.
You tried to help me with
I'll
somebody.
kick him off my card. Maybe I'll put in Aaron Rye at 100-1 instead of Corey.
Aaron Rye is checking a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
Aaron Rye feels like this year's potential JJ Spawn.
He's the one that I would probably, because I just started looking now that you said Corey Connors because he's right next to him. But I think Aaron Rye could be one that jumps up there and shows up on that leaderboard at some point.
Yeah. What about some top 20 bombs? I have a big one.
I'll go first.
All right,
I got 2. Mac Meisner plus 360. I know that's not 4-1, but it's close enough if we're rounding up.
Yeah.
And then Joel Damon plus 415.
Yep. Joel and Gino reuniting this.
I heard that. Yeah.
That's gotta be worth half a unit, at least a bet for the boys. Yeah. You gotta ride with that.
I got a couple here. I had an outright last year Do you remember this on Alex Smalley to win? And he was up there on the with a chance to win, and then had a terrible Sunday. But he is he's been playing okay. Ended up T14 last year, but he's plus 400 for top 20. And then I got to go with my guy Bud Colley, plus 405. Had a T6 last year, finished 18th last week at the API. Good little spot for Bud, I think, to maybe get a top 20.
I don't hate the Bud Colley play. I don't hate any of those. I don't hate the Joel D play. I got real loose in turn 4 here on the bomb. And you know what? If you listen to the show enough, and you're not a douche canoe like the guy that messaged us earlier, and you listen to the whole show, you've heard me probably bet this guy a couple times, this bomb top 20. So just because. Listen, is some of this an emotional pick because he's a friend of the Tour Junkies? He's always been a good dude to the Tour Junkies. He's never big timed us like a lot of guys will big time you sometimes. He can get nuclear hot. He can. He's a multiple winner on tour. He's a Southern boy. He loves him some Bermuda. And he can also be really, 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 really shitty at the game of golf, which is why he's plus 1150. Any guesses other than the number?
Chris Kirk.
Close.
Yeah. No, because you had him earlier this year.
We don't know Chris Kirk.
I think you had him earlier this year. Kazire.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for like a 10-1 top 20 or longer Patton Kazire. Yeah. He's plus 1150, just finished 13th at the Cognizant. Like Patton will just do something weird and F around and like be winning this thing come Saturday. And then he'll finish like T21, but he could win it. He could be winning it on Saturday. So I'm in on Kazire plus 1150. He's played here 5 times or 6 times. Let me see. Never. He's only missed 1 cut. He's never top 20. His best finish is top 22, T22, but he's only missed 1 cut.
Didn't we walk 9 holes out here with him one year? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Matt, you know Patton?
Oh yeah, real well. He's great.
Great dude, huh? God, he's just the best.
He is, man. His caddy actually, Dean, runs a handicapping service called Dynamite Handicaps.
Oh yeah,
we've had Dean on.
Yeah, he's
I still have tees that he gave me that are in my bag. He's got.
Do I know Patton? I am obsessed with his tantrums he has. They are the best.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Wildly underrated.
That was what I was going to say when you mentioned Kazire, DV, is that we might get to see him, but it might be because of a tantrum that he's throwing, not necessarily play. So
hey, he's like American Siwoo.
Let's do the card segment.
Matt is like so done with this. He's ready to go.
No, he's keeping us on track.
He's just trying to keep us on pace here, DB. This is going to turn into an hour and a half podcast if I don't.
Well, we have those, okay? And it's the players. We're going to have an hour and a half podcast if it's a big tournament.
That's true.
But we're doing good. You are keeping us on time. I appreciate it, Matt. Should you go first or should I go first?
I got 2. I got 2. I got to get up and get the other one. So I'll go first real quick from this one.
Okay. All right. Hit us with the first
Can you guess who this is, first of all? This is just I'm at the Live Forever Golf office doing this, and my buddies and we have so many freaking cards around here. So this is just a random golf card. All right. It's not signed or anything. It's just sitting in my buddy's drawer right here. I want to see if you can guess this player. This is from no. This is from what year is this? This is 2024 Upper Deck.
24?
Yeah, 2024.
Okay, Jay Lindenberg belt.
Seabass.
Who?
No.
Seabass.
No.
No. Titleist hat. Jay Lindenberg.
There's no chance you get this.
Right-hander. God, that's driving me nuts. It is from 2024.
This card was printed in 24. He made
God. If you guys got to watch on YouTube, this face is so recognizable, but I cannot figure out who it is.
Did you give up?
Eric Van Rooyen.
No, that's not EVR.
I know. I can't, but I just.
Was he a rookie?
Yes.
I just feel like I know this.
ADDC.
No. I'll tell you where he's from. I'm going to give you the country he's from, all right?
He's from like a Hispanic.
Australia.
Where's he from? Hold on, put him up there again. Australia.
Yes.
Is that that's not Ryan Ruffles, is it?
No, he was never on tour.
Dude, that's driving me nuts. Who the hell is
Pat,
that?
you got anything?
I got nothing.
You ready?
Pat, you see him at TGL?
I'm so mad that I'm going to know this when you say it.
God, this is going to
You're
piss
both
me
gonna
off.
know it. Curtis Luck.
God.
Why did I say Ryan Ruffles? What is
You should have gotten that because of the Corn Ferry stuff.
YouTube golf.
What is my problem? Ryan Ruffles. Oh, God. I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night and be like, I cannot believe I'm going to have to go pee my once a night pee. And I'm going to just be like, I cannot believe I didn't think of Curtis Luck.
All right, what do you got?
All right, hit me with your next one.
Oh, I'll do my next one. All right,
All
yeah. This is just it's in our office, but it's can't really guess. I'll just show you. This is the Bill Rifkin
Nice.
fuckface.
Oh, yeah.
PSA 10. Pretty nice piece right here.
Wait, what?
See the bottom of the bat? It says fuckface written on the bottom of it.
Oh, that's sick. I didn't see that. That's awesome.
That is great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites you've put up so far.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, that is a cool.
Nice.
You would have that card too, Everett.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, you would have that card. And now I'm looking at the bottom of my guy's bat. Don't look at the bottom of guys' bats typically, but now I'm looking at it. Okay. I only have baseball cards, and I only have 90s baseball cards. So yet again, I hit everybody with Jay Buhner last week. I kind of feel like this guy is in the Jay Buhner stratosphere. Okay, that's your first hint.
Yeah.
This is a rated rookie from 1991, Donruss rated rookie. This guy played first base, batted left, threw right, played in the American League.
Frank Thomas.
He was
no, he batted right. Never mind.
I would say there's some similarities to Frank Thomas. This guy had he was kind of a huskier.
Cecil Fielder.
Close, but those two guys are way better than this guy was. This guy was good, but remember, he's in the Jay Buhner stratosphere. Like, you just gave me like a Ken Griffey comparison. Yeah. This guy's in the Jay Buhner stratosphere. I'll give you a hint on the team.
Go ahead.
And then I'm going to show you the card if you don't get his name. And then he had a cool name.
What's the team?
The team is the Red Sox. Like, he would be, I know I talked about this last week. He would be like maybe your fifth hitter in like.
Let's see it. Cover the name. Baseball. I want to see the card.
Like World Series baseball, like fifth hitter. Oh man, my
dude, I can't. I wouldn't get that anyways.
He had a 2-letter first name.
A 2-letter first name.
Now he's a babyface here.
Mo something.
Yeah. There it is. Mo Vaughn.
Mo Vaughn.
Mo Vaughn.
Yeah. Wow. Mo Vaughn. I remember that.
Mo Vaughn. That's a nice card right there, dude.
Yeah, and that was
deep pull.
That was a good description of.
Look, he doesn't have fuck face written on the bottom of his bat. When you said that, I was like, oh man, nothing. Very disappointing. Maybe I'll write that in. Yeah, you guys remember Mo Vaughn or no?
Yeah, I remember.
No, I do.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah,
yeah.
That was good. I think you're right. He was in the Jay Buhner.
Yeah, he's just a memorable guy. He would occasionally, hit some bombs and, have a year.
I didn't want to.
Good stuff.
I didn't want to interrupt you before. I got one story to share with you before we wrap this thing because we're at 59 minutes right now. Well,
no, we got 30 more minutes. We're gonna debrief on the Puerto Rico Open after this.
Actually, on the drop last week, I gave out Ricky Castillo as a fucking pick.
Okay, so that helps us for the group.
I didn't bet it, but I gave it out. Anyways,
so our email friend clearly not watching the drop. That's on him. Okay. Honestly, that's really on him.
So Pat, you brought up earlier the COVID TPC tournament. Remember when?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then David, you corrected him and said Harris or Hideki.
Was leading.
So Harris English was in second. And the way that shook down that Friday, I was there. I shot like 4 or 5 over, and the world ends, whenever it was, Thursday night or Friday morning. We get a text, not playing. They send out an automated text, and it goes, Matt Every, 76, $0, 0 FedEx Cup points, and then shows my ranking on the FedEx. Normal shit, right? So I'm driving to the course to get my stuff out of the locker, and I get another text on the way to the course, and it says, Matt Every, T1, $55,000. Everyone just chopped the purse, all right? And there was no no FedEx Cup points, okay? Whatever that. So I go into the locker room, and I'm cleaning my shit out, and Harris English is right next to my locker, and he goes, hey, Every, look at this text I got earlier, and it says like Harris English, $1.7 million. Whatever the FedEx Cup points, and then they text. He gets this. I mean, unbelievable. Oh, Hideki got that text, bro. I mean, Hideki got the text.
That's a tremendous story. Why did you not tell that earlier?
I didn't want to. I didn't want to interrupt Pat. I didn't want to interrupt him.
Thank you, Matt.
Interrupt Pat.
It's a big problem. It's a big problem.
It's a big problem that Matt has. Apparently, is interrupting. Yeah.
Dude, that's amazing. That's an amazing story. Me and Pat were there. We saw the Chainsmokers that night at the 17th. We saw.
I think
Kevin
I left
Price.
early from that too.
Yeah, we did leave early from that, but I left with you on that one. I will never forget Kevin Price from the Corn Ferry Tour. I'm sure you know him.
I work with him.
I will never forget him that night. I have it on video. I think our tweet went viral with it because we posted a video of him dancing to Chainsmokers, like right there on the 17th green, just getting into it. And it was just the funniest. If you know Kevin Price, like,
oh, he's the best.
It was the funniest dance, and it cracked me up. And then we were like, "What is going on?" And then and then everything changed. That's amazing. Matt, what are you doing this week? In studio?
Betcast, studio.
Betcast, dude. We're gonna clean up some live bets this weekend.
We are. It'd be nice if DraftKings worked in Florida.
Do you think you could work in Mo Vaughn on the broadcast?
Easily work in Mo Vaughn.
Like make a Mo Vaughn comparison.
Yeah, I'll compare Coach to Mo Vaughn, the guy I'd do it with.
Yeah, dude, that'd be sick. Can you do
that? It would be better if you worked in Curtis Luck.
I will work in Curtis Luck. He's probably done something sick at the Players. I'll look it up.
Can you give us like, because I think the problem for me with you when I'm trying to listen to your betcast thing, and like especially if we're trying to hear you say a word, is like I need to know what round you're gonna work that in on. Can you give me a round? Like,
let's go. I'll give you well, let's do this. Let's go to Thursday. I'll do it right off the rip, somewhere between 10 and
a timestamp?
10 and 10:30. I'll get it in.
Oh,
all right.
A 30-minute window for
Mo Vaughn, 10 to 10:30.
Dude, what if
Thursday?
What if he's like a huge golf guy now?
Then he's watching the betcast.
And like he's listening to that. No, he's not going to be watching our podcast, but he's going to be listening to the betcast, and he's going to hear his name.
Yeah,
dude, that'd be amazing.
That would be. Is he still alive?
DraftKings is based in Boston, Matt.
Oh, Mo Vaughn.
You want to tie that in?
Yeah.
You're welcome for that. You can use that.
I will.
All right, boys. Good stuff. Good show. The Players Championship. It feels like we're about to get going. Masters is around the corner. It's going to be a beautiful spring and summer. The pollen is definitely in the air in Augusta. I don't know if you guys have had it, but I didn't know if I was going to make it here tonight. I had a anaphylactic shock in the kitchen before I came up here, but we're doing okay. Have a great night. Bend over your bookies. See ya. Out. Tour Junkies featuring David Barnett is not an affiliate of CWM LLC. Opinions expressed by the host or guests do not reflect those of CWM LLC. CWM LLC does not endorse gambling or the entities promoted by the Tour Junkies podcast. David is a non-registered representative of CWM LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.